Okay.
So I am recording now. Okay. All right. I just want to welcome each of you here, and I know we're probably going to have some other people popping on, but that's okay. We already I kind of want everybody to go through and say your name, say your claim, tell us your claim to fame, and tell us maybe the results that you would like to see in your journey with Plexus. And we can start with Rachel.
Okay, actually, Nicole's over here. She's like, "What does that mean, claim to fame?" So, do you mean like our Plexus story?
No, you're like children. Are you a mom? Are you a
Oh yes.
Kids. That's the claim to fame.
Yep. Sorry, I'm looking off camera, but I'm looking at everybody else, and my camera's over on that side. I'm not used to it. So I'm Rachel. I have been taking the triplex since May of 2016. I was 5 months postpartum with my second. Am I keeping this compliant? Just curious. Do I need to keep this all compliant? No? Okay, good. I don't want to because it goes way beyond compliance with my story. I struggled with severe depression and anxiety for 8 years, and then also migraines for 12 years. And for me, after my second daughter was born, 5 months later, I still had really severe postpartum on top of my depression. My husband has MS, multiple sclerosis, diagnosed after coming back from Iraq, and also PTS as well. So I was also one of those major skeptics who I saw Rossi's very first post. Like, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I saw your very first post, I believe it was, of you and Gabby exercising in the garage and saying something about a pink drink. I'm like, oh, that's great. They're out exercising, and didn't pay any attention to any of that. And then I saw the word Plexus again. And again, I was like, I loved following Rossi before, but I don't really think I want to follow you anymore. And I went through my whole phase of I'm off Facebook, I'm not going to do Facebook anymore. I got back on, and Darcy was doing Plexus. And so I rolled my eyes for 5 months. I thought everything had to be healed with food, and I did not understand the what gut health does and what it's, the focus of it, how much it does for healing us, from the inside out. And, yes, I will never put down eating healthy and exercise. Those are so important, but there's so much more because that we've done to our bodies than just, than that. There's constant stuff in our lives daily that needs healing. And so yeah, for 5 months I rolled my eyes. I scrolled past everything that they were sorry, it's loud, we're in a coffee shop. I scrolled past everything they were posting. I was like, I'm not really interested in this. And then I ended up reaching out to Darcy about actually one of those girls who was with us on the mission trip out to Montana in 2010. And we were talking because one of those girls had passed away, which, okay, I'm not gonna cry. My daughter is partly named after her. But we started having conversations and stuff, and I just was very open with Darcy, and she was very open with me. And I finally, after a little bit, I was like, okay, so about this Plexus stuff, what is it? Like, I'm a researcher. I'm not the one who says, oh, I'll research Plexus and then I Google it. I really did look at all of the ingredients, and I think if I had Googled it, I would have been scared off of it. But because I researched the ingredients, and I started understanding, okay, this is really plant-based. This is like started seeing what all of these things are going to do for my body. All I wanted at the time was energy, because I had a 2-year-old who I sat on the couch. I'm going to be 100% honest. I sat on the couch most of my days sitting and watching TV and movies and nursing my baby, and that was all I could do. And I had angry outbursts towards my daughter, and this is hard for me to admit, but it's true. And it's a part of, it's my story. um, so I finally said, okay, I just need energy so I can eat healthy again. So I can at least cook a healthy meal, because I no longer was even eating healthy at that point. So what I did, yeah, I ordered the triplex. I said, I'll go wholesale. She's like, this is the best way to go. I'm like, okay, I'll go wholesale, but I'm never selling this. And I think I've heard that, like, heard so many people say that they had said that. But I'm like, I'm never selling this. And then I started looking at it more. I'm like, this is a stretch for us financially. Maybe I should get my products covered, but not really. Well, 5 days in, I was free of my 6-week migraine. This was after 12 years. This migraine. I had been going to the chiropractor. I had been doing everything I could. I'm not a supplement person, so this was a stretch for me. But 5 days later, my migraine was gone. Within that first 11 days, and I'm just going to say this is my story. It can take longer for other people. And for some people, it's quick. Other people, it takes longer. For me, I had been on a health journey for a long time, so I was able to focus on a lot more of the deeper issues for me. Within that first 11 days, my depression and anxiety had cleared up. Like, my depression especially was just gone. And the only way I can really describe it is seeing in color. I heard that from somebody else. I'm like, that is exactly how it felt. And so, like, seeing in color for the first time in many, many years. Yeah, it just, I started running. I had a little, almost 6-month-old baby and a 2-year-old, and I was pushing them in a stroller and running for the first time in my life. I used to have major shin splints, like all of these little things that I don't tell everybody. There's so many things in my body that, like, started to repair itself. And yeah, so after that 5 days, I shared a little bit. Nicole was actually my first person to reach out to me and say, okay, so what is this? You're out with your kids. I just want to be out and playing with my son. Like, I just want energy for that. And I started, after a little bit, I started really looking into the compensation plan. 6 weeks later, sorry if this is getting too long, I'll try to shorten it up. 6 weeks after I started, my husband started, and it's been life-changing for him with his PTS, with his MS. He used to use a CPAP. He doesn't have to use that anymore. I know some people still do, but for him, he doesn't snore all night. He actually sleeps more than 3 hours a night, which was his life since he was in the military. This is like my most exciting story, I feel like, yet. Since starting Vital Biome, he has actually chosen to go places with us more often than not, which had been very difficult to get him to go in public places with us and do things with the girls. And so he's actually even initiating, saying, let's do this, like the fair with 3 little girls, 3 and under, and a dog, and a service puppy. But anyhow, so those there's so, I could talk all day, and I'm going to let somebody else take over now. But yes, thank you for letting me share, and that's my story. And if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to message me and ask me about more of my story, and I can happily send that to you. So
thank you, Rachel. That was awesome. Let's just try to stick with names, our kids. We'll get to some more testimonies at the end if we have time. And what results we hope to have from Plexus. So, Nicole.
So, hi. This is my second one. So I'm on here with Rachel, and I'm downloaded the app today. So good, we'll figure it out. I am a mother of a 9-year-old boy. Very active. Boy Scout, soccer, church, counseling, bowling, the works. I also have a spouse at home of 8 years that's disabled. So on top of working full time, I have both of them, and I didn't have any energy for anything. So I called Rachel and I was like, help me. So there's me.
Well, I'm so glad to see your face in the flesh, because we can actually see each other Okay, let's go with Gina.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, my name is Gina. I have 7 children, with the 7th due at the end of December. But we're thinking it's probably going to be January 5th because I always go late. So I was hoping Plexus could help with that. Okay, what else? So my claim to fame is my 7 children, and we homeschool. And my hope for health journey. Well, you know what? I just found out that my husband's side of the family struggles with thyroid. So I'm praising God that he's strategically placed Plexus at a perfect time to help with those issues. So I'm really happy about that and looking forward to the goals for my kids too, because I could notice some of the symptoms of thyroid issues. I see it in them now and it makes sense. It's not, I just thought it was hormonal, but it's way more than that. So we're looking forward to all of that funness because I know it's awesome and it works. So that's it.
Good deal. Thanks, Gina. How about you, Rexetta?
I'm just hoping that I can feel better, so I'm anxious to get started. I don't have any claim for fame, sorry.
Oh, you've got kids and you've got grandkids, right?
Oh yeah, I have children and grandchildren and love them very much. So and that's about it. I just want to feel better.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get over there to Helena to see you soon.
Oh, good. Good.
All right. So you all know me. I'm not going to go into the whole, you guys see my posts all the time on Facebook. So I want to introduce my daughter, whom, well, I'll tell you she can tell you my little tidbit on how I affected her life or how she affected my life. But anyway, Rossi, will you please share your testimony?
There we go. Sorry, I'm on my phone because my computer broke. So I'm so sad. Yeah, so you guys probably all know me too, but for the people who maybe will watch this later, Rossi, I am 2 years into my Plexus journey. And when I started, so a little background between Mom and I started Plexus 2 years ago. And I left. My mom had signed me up for Arbonne to sell Arbonne with her. Sorry, I'm not being compliant. Typically, when you're sharing with somebody or when you're talking to somebody, you never want to talk bad about another company, and you never really want to bring other names of companies into it. So that's just kind of a disclaimer right there. But since we're not being compliant on this and we're only going to be sharing it within the team, I can kind of use names like that. So just a little FYI for future reference. So I left. Bridget is one of my best friends. I've known her a long time, and our kids have grown up together and are some of the best friends. So Bridget had signed up with Plexus, and I didn't really know much about it except for when we went on a road trip across country, she was drinking this little pink drink, and I was laughing at her for it. And later she tells me, yeah, you know that little pink drink, now I'm selling it. And we were homeless at the time, living in a little camper trailer, a little 13, we're not talking like the Ritz, you know, how you can get really nice camper trailers. We're talking sheep herder's camper with no toilet, no water, no hookups, no nothing, parked between a mechanic shop and a donkey place, you know, full of donkeys, and nothing nice about it at all. And so that's where we were living, and she knew our living conditions. And so she had come across something that was helping their family financially, and she wanted me to get in on it. So, you know, long story short, she sponsored me in. She paid my $34.95, and she also bought me a welcome pack, the triplex, because I didn't want to sell anything. You know, we hear these things all the time. I didn't want to sell anything unless I had my own testimony and all that stuff we hear all the time. But she stressed to me the importance of, and so that's what I kind of want to stress before I talked about my mom real quick. Don't wait. If you are, regardless of if you are just a wholesale customer or an ambassador or wanting to work or whatever your story is, share that story as you go through it. Share that what you're starting. Share that you lost a few pounds. Share that, you know, you're feeling better and you're not having those sad times. Share those things as you go, regardless of what you want the outcome to be. You can be like Rachel and say, I will never sell this. Fine. But you still should share your journey just in case somebody out there watching you sees this happening. Somebody else laying on their couch depressed and can't get out of bed, or somebody else that, you know, is pre-diabetic and whatever you never know. Share regardless of what you want out of this journey, because it's important, and you eventually you may want to sell it, because what I'm going to tell you with my testimony might inspire you to want to work this as a business. But even if you don't, even if this is just to get you healthy, share. You owe it to people to share, because Plexus works for 99% of people. That's incredible. 1% is not seeing the results that they would like to see. Usually that's because they haven't been consistent with their problems. But if it's helping 99% of people who are trying these products, you owe it to your friends and your family and your Facebook friends and your Instagram friends. You owe it to them to share what's helping you. So now that we got that out of the way, I signed up for Plexus, left Arbonne, and let my mom know. It was a big, don't ever do it that way and that like nonchalantly, because she ended up blocking me and Bridget and wanted nothing to do with Plexus. And so part of her journey is that she ended up getting so sick and with headaches and different things that my stepdad, Russ, asked her to ask me about Plexus. And so I wasn't pushy with it, but of course, you know, you can't help but talk about it. When something's changing your life, you can't help but talk about it. And so anyway, one day, best day of my life, my mom sent me a little emoji of a duck with its head in the toilet and flushing it and saying, please tell me about Plexus. So that's kind of that backstory with my mom. And my mom ended up being a total rock star. She is rocking this business. And I told her, I'm going to follow you to the top. You just take me right there with you. But anyway, okay. So a little bit about health journey is going to be mixed in with financial journey for our family. I started this different than most people. I started it because we needed financial stability. We did not have any. We came from moving back and forth from California and Montana, trying to find the perfect place and the perfect stability for our family, and we just weren't finding it. And so that landed us here in California and rock bottom. So that's how I started, and that's why I started my Plexus journey, which is a lot different than most people. But my journey also shows how real this is for just normal people. Bridget's a normal person. All of these diamonds that we see are normal people, but it's hard to wrap our brains around that. It's hard to trust that. You know, I am as normal as you get. A hot mess of a homeschooling mom of 7 kids. You can't get any more hot mess than that. So this is a real journey for us that has been a huge blessing. Who would have thought that the Lord would have used Plexus to bless our family this way? So that's why I started my journey. But of course, like I said, I didn't want to do it without taking the products that I'm trying to sell. So Bridget sponsored my first welcome pack. I saved my Slim because I knew I wouldn't be able to, I needed money more than I needed the products. And so I saved my Slim and did half packs a day so that I could take my picture and advertise. I did not wait to advertise because Bridget had shared, like, don't wait to share your journey. You don't have to have a testimony. Trust your friends. Trust the people who already have testimonies, and just share your journey. Just share as you go along. Share what's happening. So I did that. My first day I went silver. I think it was within the first 24 hours I went silver, signed up a few of my best friends, and I went silver. And then, and it was that way. You can't, once I got my first paycheck, so my first paycheck was $250. $250 for doing nothing. I did nothing but tell my friends, hey, you should sign up with me. And they signed up, and I made $250 my first check. So very quickly, because I saw that initial paycheck put into my account, very quickly I saw that this could potentially be something big. So I continued to share. I watched all the videos that I could. So this is the really cool part of my journey is I didn't think that I needed Plexus, and you'll hear that a lot. I'm pretty healthy. I'm pretty fit. I was actually a little afraid to start Plexus because I have a tendency to be underweight. And so Rhonda and Bridget had to explain the science behind why these products work, and that it's not about weight loss, it's about balance. It's getting our bodies to do what they're supposed to do. So I was hesitant to start the products, but then I was sleeping through the night. I realized how we as Americans have, as a world really, have just become complacent with feeling mediocre. I was okay with just feeling decent, you know. I didn't know what it felt like to feel good. So sleeping through the night since I had my last child, Joelle, she's 5 now, I have not slept through the night. I have medicated myself to sleep at night with Tylenol PM, Unisom, different, whatever I could to get myself to sleep. NyQuil, because I don't sleep. Secondly, throughout the day, of course, then you have the flip side of that is I was tired during the day and just taking a lot of Pepsi and caffeine and all of that to keep me going throughout my days, and angry all the time, you know, just always like edgy. It just wasn't me, but I had gotten comfortable there, and I was learning how to survive. So to come to a place in my life where I was thriving rather than surviving was a pretty big eye opener for me. You know, I finally realized what it felt like to feel good. So then my daughter, Gabrielle, I haven't been able to really share her testimony because she was underage and it's not compliant to share that, but she's now 18 and is working on her testimony so that we can all share it. I put her on the products because she was sleeping all day, grouchy all the time. You know, she had gained quite a bit of weight and she was just unhappy. You know, as a mom, you're like, I love you, you're perfect, whatever. She was not happy with herself. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to get you the products. This is when I'm first kind of starting out in my first year, where I buy my minimum each month so that we can stay on the products. But I decided to do that minimum order and put it towards her. So she started the products, a few of the products, and about 6 months ago, she started full on the full triplex and the block and the boost. So she started all of those products. Well, early on, she had similar results as Rachel. Early on, she was out of bed, doing stuff during the day, happy. You know, everybody said, oh, it's just those teenage years. It was not those teenage years. She was messed up. Her gut was messed up. And so she's awesome. She's on fire and keeping me on my toes now. She's my personal trainer, you know, always like, Mom, you work out, Mom, you know, do this, whatever. She keeps me on my toes now, but that's recent, you know, within this last year. Well, she just got on the scale maybe like a week ago. She has lost 30 pounds in 6 months since she started her. So I'm like, okay, you have to get off of all of those like extra things because you can't afford to lose anymore. So she's working out and all of that. But anyway, so even inside of our family, we're having incredible health testimonies. I have all of my kids. Now we buy 3 or 4 triplexes it's ridiculous, but all of my kids are on some form of plexus. I have 2 of my boys have diverticulitis. One of them have it ruptured. That was pre-plexus. The second one, we caught it before it ruptured. And I asked the doctor if we could go ahead and just try him on the probiotic and the BioCleanse, and he got cleared and he hasn't had one more episode. That was a year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago, we were in the emergency room looking at maybe having surgery because it was going the same direction as my oldest son. So he's good now. We have everyone's on it for one reason or another, and it has incredibly rocked our world health-wise. Now financially. So I told you where we came from, our little camper trailer, you know, all of that. Well, now we are making a life-changing income with Plexus, and it's only just begun. Senior Ruby is nothing compared to, well, you go from Senior Ruby to Emerald, and so my goal for Emerald is by Christmas. You go from Senior Ruby to Emerald, and that you double your income. So you're going from what I'm making now is about $56,000 a year to an Emerald paycheck is $114,000 average income a year. Incredible financial blessing. I mean, just at Rupee, it was, all of it was a blessing, but I mean, we're talking life-changing. When your paychecks are getting up to $4,000 a month, that's life-changing money, you know? That's yes, Mom.
And why is that? You know, why talk a little bit about the compensation plan, how it's
Yes.
different from.
Yes. Okay. So what makes Plexus different than any other network marketing company? They pay back 50% to their ambassadors. No other company does that. So there's three main compensation plans that most companies have. Plexus didn't like any of them, so they designed their own. And they can do that and those kind of things because they're a debt-free company. So they have designed a compensation plan that makes it possible for hot messes like me to go to the top of the company, just like the ones who started 8 years ago when Plexus started. So it's not your typical, there's one on top and there's a few underneath, right? The number one concern you're going to get from people is that Plexus is a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are illegal. Plexus is not a pyramid scheme. Plexus is multi-level marketing. So, but the way that Plexus does it is that we all start same bottom, same product, same compensation plan, same ability to elevate and go to the top, right? In our company, there's 11 different ways that we're paid. The few that we're going to talk about today are the main ones. So number one is it works like the stock market, kind of like the stock market. So you're paid each ambassador that you have under you. If they order their $100 triplex or $100 worth of product, or if they sell $100 worth of product, one more amazing thing. In Plexus, you do not have to buy one thing. Buying your products is a privilege, but it is not necessary. You can sell that $100 of product. You don't have to buy it yourself. You can sell it. So every ambassador under you that reaches $100 is worth 5 points to you. So start adding that up. If you going to gold, which Rachel just went gold, you have to have 100 points, right, to go gold. 100 points, and each month you're paid a certain amount depending on the rise and fall of Plexus. You're paid a certain amount per point. 2 months ago, it was just over $3 a point. It was the highest paid point. So your base check is your points. And so Rachel's paycheck, the base pay before any of the other 11 ways that we're paid would be about $300. So that's how we're paid. To give you an idea, 750 points is what you need to go senior Ruby. That's where I went in February. 750 points times 3. That's my base pay. Then you're paid commissions on your customers. I'm sorry. Any of your customers, whatever you make over $100, anything from $100 in your PV, this is what your PV is, $100 to $499, you're paid 15%. Anything over $500, you're paid 25% of that in commissions. Not only that, you're paid on your ambassadors. Anything your ambassadors have in PV over $100. So say Gina's one of my level ones, right? So say Gina makes $900 PV last month. She, after $100, so on $800, I'm paid 5%. You're paid 5% on anything any of your ambassadors have in PV, anything over their initial $100, you're paid 5%. So that's another way that you're paid. We're paid in bonuses. We're paid in building bonuses. Any ambassador that you sign up with a welcome pack, you will get paid 3 levels deep. So say my mom signs up someone who signs up someone who signs up someone. Me all the way up here gets paid $5. Then you get $12. Then you get $24, right? All the way down. And that's kind of depending on what welcome pack. That's a regular $199 welcome pack. So you're paid 3 levels deep on building. Those are called building bonuses. So those are just a few ways that we're paid. 11 different ways we can be paid in Plexus. It's different than any other network marketing company. So,
and I think, let me jump in here. And I think what makes us unique also is there's no requirements, no penalties, no minimums. you don't have to buy anything.
Right.
And you're not penalized if you decide to go away, you know, and you never lose your rank. Those things are just make it so unique, the company.
Yes. Yeah, in other companies, you lose your rank. If you don't make a certain quota for a month, you go from Ruby, I don't know what they're called. I know one specifically has to do with the face. Their company, if you don't make a certain quota, you lose your rank. You go back down. You lose your whole, I can lose my whole leg, we call them. So a leg technically is, I signed up my mom, and my mom has a huge team, right? That's a whole leg. You can lose a whole leg in another company. Other companies, we have $34.95 startup fee. That's what it costs to start up. You have a clothing MLM, $5,000 to sign up and sell the products. $5,000, right? Just so many different things that, then another one that I tried, and I was just going to be a customer, I have to pay $80 a month, has to come out of my bank account in order to keep my account going. And it was a pain in the neck to get them to take me out. So Plexus, there's no quotas, no penalties, fees, nothing. You're $34.95, and if you have a pretty little pink card, it's $2.95. That's it. So $2.95 to have that pink card, like your bank. Yes, Rachel.
And like, say your mom doesn't order, you're still gonna earn off of me. Like, if she doesn't get 100 PV in her account, and I'm under her, then you're gonna get the amount that she would have gotten. So it attritions up, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yep, we're paid up. So Plexus doesn't just keep whatever, you know, if there's like a missing link, and like Rachel said, my mom doesn't order, but she has all these people under her that ordered. I still get paid on all of those people. She just doesn't get paid. So you're better off if you either order your 100 PV every month or sell one triplex a month. It's not hard to do. That was my goal when I first started Plexus, because I didn't want to be roped into, I wanted to be paid, but I knew I couldn't afford products each month. So I made it my mission to get 3 ambassadors and 3 customers. So I was assured a paycheck, and I didn't have to buy one thing. For 3 months, I didn't spend one single dime, nothing. And I was paid. My first paycheck was like $245. My second paycheck, $860, right? Second paycheck. So by my 6th paycheck, I finally had my little goals that I had made for myself. But so that's what the importance is of having a convenience order, your convenience order turned on. You want to have your convenience order turned on for a few different reasons. Number one, you don't want to run out of products. You want to keep those products, because like Gabrielle got to feel what it's like to re-detox. It is not fun. Once you get your body happy, you want to keep it happy. So keep those products coming to you every month. And then the other reason, you want to make sure you get paid every month. So the $100 is kind of it's just you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it. You're never roped into anything, but it does assure you of getting paid every month. So you want to make sure you have that convenience order on. If you can't, this is where I'm a little different. You will not hear anybody else really say this. I know what it's like to start out where you can't afford your products. So have it your goal to get to a place to get a paycheck that will allow you to keep your convenience order on. Make that your goal. Until then, get somebody to reach that $100 so that you can make a paycheck every month. You know that your work is compensated. So anyway, so that is kind of a little bit about our compensation plan. What else was I going to talk about for that, Mom?
Talk a little bit on some of the products, you know, that are key, like the Fab 5 or whatever.
Yes. Okay. So, triplex, of course, I start everybody on the triplex. Everyone on the triplex. It's not, and people say, well, why I have this problem and that person has a totally different problem. No, it's not a magic pill. But you're talking about 85% of your immune system is tied up in your gut. So if you're addressing your gut, you're addressing 85% of your issues, your health issues. Everyone will benefit from the triplex. Everyone will benefit from the triplex. That's what they need to be on. So triplex, your probiotic, your BioCleanse, your Slim. You've got your, there's not even Fab 5 anymore. I like the we have to call it something else, Successful 6. because we have Vital Biome now, right? We need to come up with a new name. So you've got your probiotic, and that's what is different than any other probiotic on the market. You have your enzyme that breaks through Candida wall. No other probiotic has that. But you've got a wall around your Candida, everyone, right? It's a outbreak or an epidemic in America, Candida overgrowth. It's not just women, and it just isn't yeast infections. Your body, everything, eczema, acne, bad breath, sore joints, sore muscles, fibromyalgia, all these things stem from Candida overgrowth in your gut. Bad gut.
Yeah, autoimmune disorders.
Yes.
Diabetes, all that.
In whatever issue that you're having, type it in, headaches and Candida overgrowth. Just do it. Fibromyalgia and gut issues. Just trust me. Type it in, Google it. So we have that enzyme that breaks through that Candida wall. It's like a cockroach shell. So we're the only one that has the enzyme that does that. We also have an antifungal. You won't find it in any other probiotic. Antifungal is what you need to kill the Candida, right? And then you've got those probiotics that are good bacteria that are going into your body. But what happens is when you're taking the ProBio 5, you don't want to skip the bio cleanse, because that's like cleaning the toilet and not flushing it. You're killing Candida. You don't want to leave it floating around in your body. You want to get rid of it. The second misconception with the triplex is with the BioCleanse. People don't want to be going to the bathroom constantly. They might in the beginning, because that's part of the detox process. But the BioCleanse is not a cleanse like normal cleanses. It doesn't make you poop all the time, except if you're detoxing. We're talking a toxin cleanse on the cellular level. Your cells being detoxified, right? And oxygenated. So we can't make any claims on this, but certain diseases and cancers cannot grow in an oxygenated area, in an oxygenated body. So oxygenation in our blood cells is so important. So those are those two. Then you've got the Slim that deals with your blood sugar regulation, your lipids, your cholesterol. And it's now got a prebiotic. What's cool about a prebiotic is that's your fertilizer to feed your good bacteria. That's food for your good bacteria. So guess what's happening when you're giving your body good bacteria or good prebiotics? It's learning and feeding and growing all on its own. So it's training. That Slim is training your body to do what it's supposed to be doing. So that's the triplex. Then we have the Vital Biome. If you take the Vital Biome, which I highly recommend, and that's what I was so excited to give Gabrielle, but then of course I started taking it. And the best way I can describe it is, because I'm not one of those that have these crazy, because of where I started, I don't have, depending on how unhealthy you are, you might have incredible results and really fast. Some people are not that way. I'm not that way. Mine are like slow over time and I have to look back, right? But it's almost like light bulbs turned on. I feel on, and there and present and, not foggy and moody and, undesired. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I kind of feel like it's a light bulb feeling. So we've got your Vital Biome, and that's another probiotic, but it's made to target mood and anxiety and those things that we have. So if you're taking the probiotic, you can cut that back to half and take the Vital Biome in the morning instead. So Vital Biome in the morning, probiotic at night. Our new X Factor Plus is amazing. If you guys haven't already, Google or go on Facebook and type in X Factor Plus and hair growth. If you have a problem growing your hair, take the X Factor Plus. But it also is formulated to help with perimenopausal and premenopausal hot flashes, things like that. But it's not just for women. It's for men too. It just happens to help women with those things. And it's clinically tested. So Plexus is in the process of getting all of their things clinically tested. So we're going to eventually be able to come out and make all the claims we want because it's been tested to do those things. So that's kind of a little bit on some of the main products. We've got, depending on what you're looking for, pain, if you have nerve problems, if you have weight issues, we've got something for everything, and it's all good stuff, So that's a little on the products. Anybody else want to add something on a product or have a favorite product they want to share? No? Yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
Ease. I can't say enough about ease. It is amazing. Like I said earlier, my husband has MS and he still struggles with it. It's one of those things that he still struggles with, and but he has so much less inflammation. He his relapses and his pain issues are a lot less and a lot less often. And if he starts to go down, like he can start feeling his right side weaken from an inflammation, overdoing things, he'll up his ease products. So it's an anti-inflammatory, and it contains New Zealand green-lipped mussel, turmeric, bromelain, and I can serapeptase, I think is the fourth one. But they're all great anti-inflammatory, like inflammation fighters. And for me, I don't take ibuprofen. I don't take pain medication. I do take ease when I'm starting to feel like if I hit my arm on something or something like that. I take a lot of ease, and it usually helps really quickly. So I love the ease, all of the ease products. We have a fast-acting relief cream with or pain relief cream that has a lot of the same ingredients that ease capsules have as well, and then also Nerve is in that. But probably my favorite unspoken or not spoken about enough product is our Plexus body cream. Like the healing powers in that body cream and are just incredible. I use for everything. I really do. Diaper rashes. I use it for my makeup right now. I'm going through another detox. I've been fighting off what my girls have and up to my probiotics, and I haven't gotten sick this week, which has been awesome. But using the body cream on everything, and I don't want to say it on here, but there, some it just helps with a lot of things. Burns, they heal really fast with it. Eczema, definitely. Nicole's son has been using it for his eczema, and it's really helped. So the body cream is worth getting a hold of, and it seems expensive for a bottle, but it lasts a long time because you don't need a lot of it. So that's definitely, love that one.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. And that's the activated charcoal, right? Probably that's in there. It's awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah, activated charcoal and spirulina and aloe vera. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, so that's a few of our main products. We kind of wanted to touch a little bit on back office since this is for our newer ambassadors. In your back office, I don't want to give too much because we are, they're going to be redoing our back office. They're going to be launching a new back office pretty soon. But a few things questions maybe that I get all the time. You're going to have two sections where you're going to see points. And there's the top number. That's the points you're going to really want to keep an eye on. That's the point. That's your pay points. That's what you're going to get paid on. Now, the number underneath of it is really not necessary for you to even keep an eye on. That's points within your main points. It's not, you don't add them together to get your points. So, but that number is only if you have only one strong leg. So if, for instance, if I wouldn't be able to go to Senior Ruby if my only strong ambassador was my mom. So if my mom had a really great, successful team, I wouldn't be able to rank, which is a good thing. Some of these things sound bad, but it's a good thing because it makes sure that we are being level. We're feeding every area, and we're not just going to ride to the top on one person, It makes sure that we are taking care of every area of our business, taking care of all of our ambassadors equally, and not just taking care of, my mom's my rock star, so she's the only one I'm going to invest in. It's really for our protection, and it's a good thing. So needless to say that you don't really have to look at that. if you're figuring out a paycheck and you're looking at your PV, which will be on the left-hand side of that little desktop, this is your first screen that's going to pop up in your desktop. And there will be your PV next to your pay points. Your PV, if you're managing your paycheck, you want to make it your goal to get over 500 PV. Do what you got to do to get over 500 PV. That means you make 25% of your PV. Now you have to take out your first initial $100 and then do the 25% out of that. So for instance, if you have $500 PV, you have to take out your initial $100. That's your qualification to get paid. And then you're paid $100 on your $400. Yes, Mom.
I was going to say PV means personal volume.
Personal volume. Yes.
What you
Yep.
sell and anybody else in that might want to buy something from you.
Yeah. So one of the other ways that we're paid that if you ever have any questions, message me and I'll help you break down your paycheck if you want to look at your paycheck. Whatever you sell, every preferred customer. So you want people, if they're not going to be an ambassador, a wholesale ambassador, you want them to sign up preferred. You want them to be able to order from you every month. It works just like an ambassador, though. You have to assure them you don't have to order every month. If you want to go in and turn off your order thing, you can. You can do everything from your back office. So just assure them that they're not going to charge you unless you put in there that you want your products every month. So, but every preferred customer that you have that orders, you're also paid a bonus on that. So for instance, if you have 5 people that order a triplex from you every month, you get a $20 bonus for each one. That's $100 worth of bonuses for 5 triplexes that you sold that you didn't have to do any work for. Residual income, right? That income that keeps paying us. So that's another way that you're paid when you're looking at your pay point or your PV, your personal volume, and you're managing what percentage you're earning. Just remember, if any of those are preferred customers, you're getting even more than that because you're getting bonuses on what they've purchased. So what else? Your detailed genealogy is another place that you will want to look at, and it's under reports. And what that's going to show you is as you start signing people up, that's where you're going to find your people. You're going to find all the information about them in your detailed genealogy. Member summary is another page that you might want to go and check out, and that's also under reports. And that shows you kind of the bullets of what's happening in your detailed genealogy. So it will show you your new ambassadors for this month versus your new ambassadors for last month. It will show you how many ambassadors you have, how many preferred customers you have, how many retail customers you have. It's just kind of the overflow so that you can get the gist of what's going on. So that's a little bit. Anything else that we need to talk about as far as back office?
I don't think so. We were going to talk about having a Zoom call like this on other occasions, like once a month. So that we can bring in new ambassadors and talk a little bit about the products and that kind of thing, or wholesale customers or whatever, just to kind of get them drawn in to see, because I don't think the general person really realizes how special Plexus is. You know, as far as the culture of Plexus, it is. And they're not technically a faith-based company, but everybody from the top on down are faith-based that I know of, that I've met. And I think it's just a wonderful thing to have people experience that somehow. And the closest thing I can think of is do a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So we're going to plan once a month to do just an introductory Zoom call, and it will be much more put together. I'll be much more put together, I promise. Some of you guys don't know, we are like eyeball deep in FAIR, and FAIR starts on Wednesday, but anyone who has done FAIR knows that FAIR doesn't start on Wednesday. FAIR started like 6 months ago. And so we just walked in my door maybe 15 minutes before I had to start the Zoom call, from setting up and cleaning stalls and painting stalls and all of that. And now some of my kids are out shearing the lamb, and we are eyeball deep. So I promise it will be much more put together and orderly and in order. And but it's something, so as you sign up it will be for new customers and new ambassadors. As you sign them up, will have a date for you. Get them on the Zoom call. Get them on a Zoom call, because what that does is, well, it just introduces them to everything. We're not going to bombard them with just like this. If you're here as a customer, awesome. If you're here as a business, you want this as a business, awesome. We're here to help you, whatever your end result is. So we'll get them plugged in. You want them plugged in. You want that intimacy built into them right away, where they feel comfortable coming and talking to different people and all of that. It's very important. It's essential to this business, because this is a business built on relationships. So the more relational you can get them to be with our team, the better they're going to do. The better their journey's going to look, the better they're going to feel everything. Because, you know, none of us like to talk about poop when we first started, and now that's all we talk about is how many times we poop today. So you want to feel comfortable talking about poop, you know, comfortable enough to talk to any of us about stuff like that and the things that they're going through. So for that, and also when we have other Zoom calls that are for something else, you want them to have the know-how to get on there and not feel scared or not know how to turn off their video or whatever. It just kind of is a roughneck in learning how to do Zoom, is getting them on these Zoom calls. So we're going to do them team Zoom calls like this for new people once a month. So hopefully that will, you know, get people started on the right foot, and it'll be good. And so after the next 10 days, I'll be a little more put together and not in this is my fair. See, we just got back, Premier 4-H representing. Anyway, if you guys pray today, pray that Gabrielle Stinking Pig makes weight, because that's the stress of my life right now. Ugh, it's killing me. But on the financial end, I got to throw this in. The biggest part of my testimony, you guys will hear it all the time. You see it all the time, because the finances have completely changed. We have been a family that has struggled forever to a place where now we've got, I think we're showing 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 animals at fair. 14 animals at fair. And I don't know if any of you guys have done any kind of fair, but just yesterday I had to go spend $522 on supplements so our stupid pig will make weight. And it wasn't like, what can I sell one of our TVs so that we can go get the supplements for the pig? No, I just took my Plexus Pink card and swiped it, and it was not a stress. So I say that not to brag or boast on finances, but just to let you guys know, if you're willing to do the work and learn and grow and push yourself, it is not hard work. The hardest work is getting over yourself. If you're ready to get over yourself and you are in a place where financially you need this to be a blessing, you can do it. I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what I want for all of you. Health journey, if you don't ever want to sell Plexus products, no problem. No problem. But keep in mind that other people that you know, your neighbor, your daughter, sitting around, and be willing to share with them. Even if you don't want to work it as a business, be willing to share, because these products are giving people their life back. People like my mom, you'll see her posting all the time. It's aging her backwards. It's giving her more quality of time. You know what? God is sovereign. I'm going to die when I'm going to die. But the quality of my life now, it's the payoff is priceless, you know, and you want that for everybody. We should care about people enough to want that for them, to want their quality of life today to be the best it can be. So off my little soapbox for that. But anyway, all that to say, we'll do these Zoom calls once a month, and I won't be such a hot mess after fair is done. And if my pig makes weight, I'll be even better. So it is what.
Okay, this
The
hat,
game sounds.
I want to do a drawing for this hat. And Rossi, I did put your name in the drawing because you only have one stinking Plexus swag. And it would be nice if you won it. But I'm going to throw this out. And it's for the hat, or if you want a $40 gift certificate, either one. So,
Oh, you're so awesome.
Rex. Pull that Rex.
Woo!
So Rex, if you want either a hat or if you want a gift certificate to like Amazon or something like that, let me know. Okay, now I have just a little kind of a cute thing that says inspire me. Little notebook, Dealy Bobber here.
Oh.
We'll get you that hat one of these days. Okay. Gina, this goes to you. Notebook thing, so I'll get that sent to you. But
Oh,
anyway.
you're
All right,
so.
does anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask? Rex or Sammy or Nicole, do you guys have questions that you'd like to ask? Okay, if you rate, okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. So,
Okay.
okay. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask. I got everybody unmuted, I think.
Except for Gina. There we go.
I'm having technical difficulties. I don't know.
That's yeah.
Sammy. There's Miss Sammy.
Hi, Sammy Joe. Oh, you're not unmuted, Sammy.
Oh.
She's under her hand.
Hi, Sammy.
Hi.
So does anybody have any questions? If not, we're going to wrap this thing up so everybody can get on with their Saturday.
Okay, can maybe Rossi can or Darcy follow just reiterating the importance of follow-up, and that you're not, if somebody's talked to you about Plexus and they're interested, following up with them, it can still be hard to follow up with them because you don't want to be annoying, you don't want to seem like you're selling something. But the importance of it is like how many people didn't order on your 5th time following up with them, but did on the 6th, that sort of thing.
Well, I've
Or
got
even
people that a year ago, I talked to a year ago, and they've come around. Now it's just may not be the right timing for them. Their body may not be doing, whatever. It's just not the right timing for them. So you just always got to be there. Be there for them because you have the hope that a lot of these people that are suffering silently need. And when they're ready, they'll come and find you.
Well, and you have to remember and keep in mind the average person or the average times it takes for a person to respond to your Plexus message, 8 to 12 times. So you have to ask yourself, did I message that person 8 times? Now, you don't want to do it like 8 times in a row. You want to take your time, and in between, you want to be showing that you care more about them person than you do about selling them Plexus products. So make sure you're visiting their page and checking up on their kids and leaving them comments or asking them how they're doing in between, because if you have 12 Plexus messages for someone and that's all you have, that's all the communication you have is 12, like, here, we're having this deal. Hey, I have this testimony. If you have 12 of those, you're doing it wrong. If you have not contacted them for any other reason or liked any of their pictures or whatever, you're doing it wrong. This is a business built on relationships. And unfortunately, not even unfortunately, it just means we have to invest in people. And we have to invest in a lot of people than we normally would, a lot more people than we normally would. So take that time. And that's the importance of having a business, a Plexus Power Hour or 15 minutes. I went to Ruby on 15 minutes a day for those people who say, I just don't have the time to do it, or whatever. 15 minutes I went to Ruby, a $32,000 a month income on 15 minutes a day. It's doable. You have time. You can message 5 people in those 15 minutes.
Okay, and so is that all you did in that 15 minutes? I've always kind of wondered, like, what specifically, did you just message people, or did you go and, like, you comment on their pages? But at that time, it was strictly messaging?
Yep. Yeah, income producing. What's going to make those 15 minutes are my business hours. They're not my building relationship minutes. Those are my business building minutes. I have to build a relationship in the rest of the day, in the other 23 hours and 45 minutes. I have to build relationships, but those 15 minutes are to build my business. So now I try to do 2 power hours. I've not been doing that, but 1 in the morning and 1 at night, 1 before the kids wake up and 1 after the kids go to bed. So my day is dedicated to them and homeschooling, and I work in little pockets. If I'm waiting outside of a building for someone, I'll go and check my messages or whatever, get little things in. But yeah, those 15 minutes are what's going to bring home the bacon. you know, those kind of messages and things.
All right, I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, Rossi, and thank you. If you guys have questions, one of us will be happy to answer them for you. And we'll be posting when the next Zoom call like this is going to be. So,
Sounds good. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
guys, have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. Good to see you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, Rex.
Bye.